I've come to realize that I should have put this part in the last part because this is gonna be also a very small part, and that's poor planning on my part. So, anyways, from 1950 to 1966, there were 0 African nations that went to the World Cup. Now, granted, the 1994 and 1996 World Cups were canceled due to there being stuff happening during that time, and nothing you can do about that. But when the 1950 World Cup was rolling around, neither Egypt or Sudan, who was now its own nation, applied to participate. For the 1954 World Cup qualifiers, only Egypt joined, and they were placed to play Italy, who beat Egypt in both home and away matches with an aggregate of 7-2. For the 1958 World Cup qualifiers, history was made when there were 4 possible African nations that could participate. Now, prior to this, in 1956, Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia, and South Africa fought to create officially a football confederation. And they won. They did it. The Confederation of African Football was born, and right from the start, this baby was sick. I'll talk more about that when I talk about their local tournament, but what I want to share for now is that for the 1958 qualifiers, only Egypt and Sudan participated in the qualifiers, as Ethiopia's entry was rejected by FIFA. I couldn't find out why, and South Africa didn't enter because apartheid. So the qualifiers itself were horrendous. First, because they didn't have many teams, the 2 African nations were forced to play with the Asian Confederation, where only one nation could qualify. Yeah, just one, just one nation could qualify. They were assured one spot, so it was going to go to one team there. So in the first round, Egypt was due to play against Cyprus, one of those two. But Cyprus withdrew from the qualifiers, giving Egypt a bye to the next round. Sudan played Syria, where they won 3-1 in aggregate, and in the second round, the top 2 teams out of the 4 would advance to the final round. Both Egypt and Indonesia withdrew from the qualifiers, meaning Sudan and Israel, an Asian Confederation team at the time, both qualified automatically to the final round, where Sudan refused to play against Israel because they would boycott it, as they were part of the Arab League boycott, which was basically they would boycott any type of business with Israel. So Israel was given a bye to the next round, and once again, the African nations are left with nothing. But the good news is that with CAF having been created 2 years prior, the international football for Africa was finally going to change, and it did. And not only that, as the years went by, Africa itself experienced a lot of changes. So in the next video, I'm going to talk about their local revolution in the form of the Africa Cup of Nations.